G'day and welcome back to my channel. Now I'm continuing on with the videos on the Spitfire here, and this will be the final one. Yes, we'll finally get the bloody thing finished. And everything's looking pretty nice on the top side here. I ran a Tamiya panel line wash. It was an oil wash, just to quickly do the top side. And I then came back with some of my acrylic liquid pigments, and I've added some smoke effects down the side of the engine exhaust. And also around the machine guns. Just subtle stuff. I didn't want this overly weathered. I had planned to do a big chipping effect, but that was a sort of unmitigated bloody disaster. There's some problem with this Hataka paint over the Styrores, and we're using the chipping solution that I had. It all didn't seem to be very happy with each other. I'm going to have to look into the chemistry of that later and try and do some experiments to figure out why the Hataka paint wouldn't chip like Lifecolor would chip, or even Tamiya paints will do the acrylic chip just by reactivating with a bit of water. But anyhow, more of that another time. I'll explore that another day. I may go in with a fine brush and do a little bit of aluminium chipping around where the pilot gets in. Oh, look, I'm not too worried. I'm very happy with the look I've got on the top here as is. So I'm just going to kind of go with that. What I want to do in this video, though, is explore the bottom of the plane, which hasn't had any weathering at all. Last time I took the photos, and the top's great. The bottom, virgin, just basically the sky grey or medium sea grey colour, and that's it. So we'll use the liquid pigments in this video, and I'll try and go into detail as best I can and show you what the process is. Now, I will warn you, I had some failure. I only had some failure on camera. What I did off camera was fine. And this is probably a warning with these. I was in a room, it was 34 degrees here, 95 degrees Fahrenheit, and I turned the air conditioner off to do some of the videoing, to show you the effects. And strange things happen. So that could be a warning. With these liquid pigments, there are limitations, and one of them is don't get the bloody things too hot, because they do strange stuff. But it all worked out in the end, and as you'll see now in the video that follows, my blurb here, my waffling, you all love my waffle, don't you? Now with an extra 25% waffle, yes. Anyhow, look, let's just stop all that crap. I'll now show you my adventures on the underside of the Spitty. Now I've got to the underside of the Spitfire now, and I'm working on getting a wash in there to those panel lines, and also get some streakiness happening. I don't want mine too filthy, but I certainly don't want to look pristine, because at the moment, I carefully lift this up, that side is just painted, but that side, the panel lines are starting to pop, and I'm getting some sort of streak effects. Now I've got this tricky little thing here, actually. Becca gave that to me. It's a little flight stand. It's a little Triffid type thing, and it's really handy for working on your model so you don't have to touch it. And I've also underneath got, pinched out of my paint booth, is the Lazy Susan, so I can rotate it. So those two things allow me to minimum touching of the Spitfire. Just wash my hands to do the video. And that way I can get the work done. Now, I'm using Lifecolor Liquid Pigments. So I've got a lot of these, and I'm trying them out. I mean, I used enamel Tamiya panel line wash on the top side just to get the last video done quickly, because I hadn't really tried these much, but I'm endeavouring to really give them more of a go. I've used one on a few things. I did some terrific wood effects. I was very happy with some wood effects I did for the Wingnut Wings kit. So the reason I'm using this one is I don't want to get too obtuse. I don't want to get a real black lines through there, make it look cartoonish. So I just want a sort of effect where it's just a few shades darker. And then also, this has been working very well for the streaking. I've managed to get both happening at once. So that is working a treat. And the other thing too, there's a problem with these, which actually becomes a useful tool, in that you can get two colours out of the one. In that, when you first shake and stir it, you'll get the nice dark colour, you get the black grey. And this liquid pigment stuff always settle. They settle really badly. You have to keep shaking and keep stirring them. So if you want slightly lighter effects as you're going, especially once you've done your panel lines nice and dark, you just kind of let those pigments settle a bit and use the stuff on the top, and you'll get lighter. I'll show you in a sec. It actually is quite pronounced and quite different. But you can use that as an advantage, and you can make that happen. All right, I've also got, this is just the remover. and I'll use that in a very subtle way to get my streaks and get some effects. And also, if you have a cock up, you do something, you think, oh, that's horrible and I hate it. Even when it's dry, 2 days later, this remover will remove it. And this is acrylic, remember? This is an acrylic wash. Normally with your acrylics, once you've got them on, that's it, you're stuck. If you don't get it right, it's like that forever, or you have to strip all the paint off your model. Not so with this, not so at all. I mean, I do have that protective layer of Future on there, which is helping give me a nice glossy surface for the washes to run, and also then protects a little bit. Although you can still basically scrape the Future off if you're too vigorous. And I've just got some distilled water there, best quality water that I can afford. So, you know, it's too good to drink. All right, so let's have a look at what we'll do. So we'll just rotate this around. This thing's sort of great little useful device. So that side at the moment has nothing much happening on it. It's just got the gloss. So I'm going to take a slightly wider brush and get a bit of water in, not too much, and I'm going to very gently give this surface a bit of a bath. Too much. So that's too much. You don't want that much. So I'll work that across now. All I want to do actually is get it into panel lines. And we won't, I found actually it's better to do half a wing at a time. So I'll just work a lot of that off. So all you want is a sheen, like you don't want puddles. So there we go, we're getting a nice sort of sheen across there now. It's probably getting a bit shiny in the video, but anyhow. The next trick is, well, you need this really shook up. So I found the best way, rather than actually shaking it, so when I say shook up, I really mean stirred. I found the best way is to get a toothpick in and give this a good stir. See how dark it's getting now? It does get quite dark, whereas that will lighten up quite a lot as we wait. So using 00 brush, I'm just going to get something fairly thin. I'll get that a little bit of that wash, and we should be able to just, sorry, I'm a bit wobbly. Should be able to drop it in, and it will run. I think my water's dried under the lights. It will run into those panel lines, but honestly, you can do a pin wash with it, but it's not working for me in these conditions under the lights. There's everything's drying too quickly. But basically, I found what actually worked. See if I can get one to run on the camera. Don't know, could you see that? It does run. Like this one here. Just splotched everywhere. Already the stuff is getting light. I actually found it was better to just paint it on. And in fact, they do that. Look at that, that's already gone grey instead of being black. Look at that. So you have to keep watching this stuff because it does settle. It's annoying, but I say it's also useful. So if I put this on here now, you'll see it's a darker colour, right? So basically, I'm going to do a sludge wash for the purposes of this video and the fact that it's easy to do this under these conditions. And doesn't it look horrible? Okay? Because it's drying so quickly with the lights up as bright as they are. So I can see that going into those lines. You can actually work it in, like there's a line there, you can actually work it into the line. Make sure you've got enough. Don't worry that's all a big mess because, see that one there, you see how it's actually got the grey colour in it, so I actually want to strip that out. But as I'm stripping it out, it's dragging it in from elsewhere. I'm just cleaning my brush on it, on that off camera. So pull that out. Now, get it really dark. So that is the one thing you've got to watch with this. So damn pigments settle. So now with that really dark, and that really, I should be able to, there you go, it ran. Did you see it? It did. I can see it. Just take my word for it. So that's a bit darker now. Good. Okay, well what we'll do is, I'll just illustrate my method and then I'll get on and do the whole rest of it. Don't really want it on the clear part there. Whoops. Here's a mistake, right? I put it on the clear part. Oh dear, I've made a mess. And this is where you'll use your remover. So with the brush fairly dry, you don't want a lot of this remover. I've only got a tiny dab of remover on there, so I can get in with the remover and completely remove, even if that had dried. Okay, Now we'll give this a few secs to dry, to basically make sure it's not running. And the reason I'm going to do that is I actually want all those panel lines to fill up, because it will, because you've wet the whole surface, it is going to sort of gravitate in. As much as this is practically bone dry already under the lights, but in theory, and when you normally do it, your surface is wet enough so that the washer will run into all the panel lines, and then just like if you're doing a clay wash, you'll rub it off. So let's come back in a few minutes and I'll do that. Well, it's been a few minutes now, and what I'll do now is I'll use the solution, but only that it's lighter colour with the pigments falling down where it's slightly grey. And because the panel lines are pretty well dry now, and they shouldn't come out, I can actually go on here and use a bit of water, because it's a little bit too much. I can actually start to work all this and get whatever streaky lines I want. So that's reactivated it. Away I go. If I rub too hard, I will pull those panel lines out. I'll also knock the bloody thing off its stand. So here you go. Right, so cleaning the brush. I'll now start to keep working this and pulling it out until I get the level that I want. I use grubby as I want. Now I can also use the remover at this point. I'm cleaning the brush as I go here, don't worry. I can use the remover if I want, because maybe some of these areas here, far too much remover, Harry. Some of these areas here I may want to just work a bit more. This stuff is really dried under the camera. Oh well. I'm getting a great effect, but it's not what I was doing on the other side, I can tell you. But anyhow, most of it's disappearing, as you can see. And what I'm getting left with is almost a black basing effect and a bit of a streakiness. So that's the principle and the theory. I just can't show it to you. In a hot room, it's probably I've left it too late in the day, because I've got the air conditioner off to do this. When the air conditioner's on, you can't hear me. So it is doable. I'm just having to do a lot more work to make this happen. And unfortunately, that's working the panel lines out. So this is one of those on-camera, unmitigated cock-ups. Look, that's the principle. What I'll do is I'll put the air conditioner on and we'll just run some music, and I'll get this, I'll do the rest of it and speed up motion. But believe me, this does work. And I will be able to work all that, but I need to cool this room down. This room's too hot. I've been working at that with the brush for some time now. I've got it pretty close to what I want. Now you can use a trick where you wet a cotton bud and get rid of most of it. I'm just squashing it out on my fingers. So you just got a damp cotton bud, right? And that'll allow you to now do some final touching up. And with a bit of luck, you're not rubbing too hard, you won't lose your panel lines. So it's very much the same technique as you would with the clay wash. But notice I'm only working in the direction that the wear will happen on the aircraft. I'm assuming the air will run this way. So there's things I can go in here and go, I've got too much in here. Should be able to remove the surface and leave the panel lines showing. See? But I'm careful. So my cotton bud's just damp. And as long as I sort of carefully work at it, there we go. That pretty well matches that one now. So it's like with any sort of weathering, there's a lot of subjectivity. There's a bit of art and black magic and a little luck. And sometimes you just have to kind of go with the flow. If that's what it wants to do, well, then you have to think maybe that's going to be my effect. So there you go. So I might have cleaned that one up a bit too much now. So you can always put it back. So probably wet some of this and drag it in. You can play around with this a lot, and being water-based, it's very easy to work with. There's no noxious fumes. You're just playing away, and it does remove with the remover but I would not advise 34 degree heat, that's 95 degrees Frankfurter, in a room that's shut, that normally is air conditioned, but you're turning the air conditioner off to do this, because boy does it dry rock hard, and then it takes a little bit of vigorous rubbing to remove. But some of the spots where it dried, I went, oh no, look, I'm sort of getting some nice effects there, so I went with it. And because both sides won't be uniform on anything anyway, I've just got what I hope is a moderate look of weather from one side to the other, and that's still drying. And the thing is, I can come back anyway and decide if I want more on that, or I'll think, gee, that's nice, I'll add a bit more that side. Anyhow, I'll keep going with this, but that's sort of the tricks of how to use the liquid colour acrylics to weather the bottom of an aircraft. So there you have it. That's Spitty's all done as far as I'm concerned. You know, I'll leave it. As I said, I might come back and do a bit of chipping. I might do there's a few things you always come back after a while when you've got fresh eyes and you have a look at your model and go, oh, I could do with a bit. But look, I'm happy with the canopy. That turned out well. Even the little pilot Megsy in there, he's okay, for my level of painting. The weathering's not bad. I didn't want it, I didn't want this thing to look fairly ruined. It's a fairly new Spitfire. It's got a little bit grubby underneath, and that's about it. So I'm happy with my result. And quite frankly, this is my first Spitfire in 50 years. I kid you not. Yeah, it is 50 years ago that I built my first Spitfire, which was an Airfix one in a bag, which cost me $1. So I'm pretty happy with my effort. I'm going to build some more Spitties. I filled the stash up with quite a few of them because, I really do love the shape and I do love this aircraft. So there's quite a few more to come. In fact, we'll be building very soon, probably next month, for a group build on the RAF, an RAF 100-year anniversary group build, which is on the page of my good friend Aaron, the crispy duck. And I'll be building a great big Tamiya 1/32 scale Spitfire Mark 9. And hopefully this will break my distrust and general distaste for Tamiya. I know, you guys tell me how great Tamiya is, and I'm yet to experience that. So hopefully this lovely Spitfire kit, I'll sneak a peek in here, of the Mark 9, and especially in 1/32 scale, that's going to turn me around and get me to love Tamiya like you guys love Tamiya. All right, well, that's it for this video. I'll put at the end here just a montage of the final pics where I basically lit it a lot better, and I set the stand up, that sort of invisible floating stand that I had in the last video. I set the stand up a lot better. I'll show you the stand, hang on. Rummaged around and I found it. That's from Bunnings. It's just a little hardware store here. It's just your basic little cheapo little base. And I've completely painted it white this time because that would better the videos. And there's my little tube, which I might cut a bit shorter, but I've been using this flight stand instead. So that goes into there, and then I've just used basically the Academy, top of the Academy stand. Although I found later on I had a Matchbox one, which will fit, and it's clear. And I put that in for some of the shots where I wanted this just about invisible. I can't find the Matchbox one. It's disappeared now on me. But I'm basically just leaving it on the flight span for display because they're terrific. They're not cheap. Those things are, I think, about $15 or something. It's 1.5 shekels, work it out in your bloody currency. All right, we'll end the video now. You can watch the montage at the end, which will just give you an idea of the final result with Spitfire. Look, I'm happy with it. There's a few things I could have done better. There's been some mistakes. It doesn't matter. That's all part of modelling. It's all part of the exploration and the journey, right? And from that, I've learnt a lot. My next one's going to be even better. So we'll look forward to that 1/32 scale Mark 9. Boy, I should be able to do some good stuff with that, with everything I've learnt. All right. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. Stay on now for the montage, but it's goodbye from Australia, and it's hooroo from Harry Houdini.